good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're doing an update on the fantastic PolyRhythmic Euclidean. But first, we're going to play a track from the incredibly talented Papa Tom Carrera. And this is Living in a Fantasy. Let's go.
For collaboration, I'm kinda doing all of this for free. Building egos and feeding fantasy. I'm dealing with an agent to get my songs online. Doing this on my own, I guess I'm killing time. But I got these tunes up in my head, I gotta get them down. Songs are coming from deep in my soul, born for rock and roll. Is it real? Can't you see? It's my fantasy. Oh, won't you listen to my music? Let me share my dream. The bass is playing guitars too. Listen to them scream. I'm trying hard to find the words and just a melody that helps you sing along with me and join my fantasy. It isn't easy, but it sure is fun. Finding friends for collaboration. I'm kinda doing all of this for free. Building egos and feeding fantasies. Building egos and feeding fantasy. Building egos and feeding fantasy. Building egos and feeding fantasy.
Papa Tom Carrera. There we go. There's my, what am I doing? There I am. Hello. Good to see you all. And that was, indeed, Living in a Fantasy. And aren't we all sometimes living in fantasy? It seems like it sometimes. Is this the real world? Is this just fantasy caught in a crossfire? I don't know. Easy come, easy go. Great song. Look, the animation's really cool in that too. Every time I watch it, I think, how did he do that? Is it just one of those emojis and he's just put the head on his own body? I have to find that out. I definitely have to find that out. That is really cool. So there you go. There's a pinned comment in the chat if you want to go and check out his channel. I do suggest you do so because he's got some great music. Alrighty, dokie doodly doo. Welcome to the show. I'm Jade. This is How to App on iOS, where we take a look at apps, creativity, mental health and well-being, interviews with creators, a live performance, hither, rither and there, and it's an infotainment show, info-apptainment show, that's what I like to call it, where 99% of the time there's talking, funnily enough. What do you think about that? I think it's stunning.
Stunning.
Absolutely. So, got some really cool things coming up tomorrow and all next week. All next week's shows are actually up on the channel. I've been busy planning all of next week. So there you go. Let's say hello to people in the chat. If I can make sure everything's working good today. Let's say hello to the guys, to all of you guys and girls in the chat today. And then we'll get down to business. Hello to Joe Glenn. Hello, Thomas Christ, one of the amazing moderators here in the chat. Gregory O'Sullivan. Who else? Tom Carrera, who's here as well. Sean Chandler. Ashley HM, who's just dropped a new EP, folks, as well. Let's see. Can I find... Ashley, I need to go to my library. Ashley, why are you giving me no results? What's going on here? That is, if I do a search maybe this way, because I know I've recently added. There we go. Alicia Poor is her artist name. That's why I was writing the wrong thing. So she's just dropped a brand new EP, a metal, very metal EP called Kitty of Filth. There it is. Good stuff. So go and grab it. Promotional stuff. There you go. Who else is here? I think I've said Sean Chandler. Oh, look who's here. Look who it is. Look who it is. It's been a while since I've got to do this. Doctor's orders. Hello, Doctor's orders. I hope you're doing well. I love doing that effect. It's still the coolest one, and I'll never stop doing it. Hello to Tremor Bear as well. Who else is here? Gary Hubbs, hello to you. There's a scroll. Mr. Back from Doing Time, hello to you. Hope you are well. Feisty Feather, good to see you. Michael Nervous, hello to you. And I think Kev Hart, metal you say. Let me search this out. Metal you say. Kev's got a cool metal track as well too. Roadhouse. It's called Roadhouse for Metal Shack. I was going to play it. It kind of got. I'll probably play it early next week on the show if you want to hear that. Well, you're going to hear it because I'm going to play it next week on the show. There you go. Let's just dive in because today is we're looking back at an app. So it's an update. Did I see Cy here as well? Yes. Cy, effing good to see you. Hello, Cy. I nearly missed you. Hello, David Collette. Hello to you. So today's app, this is a bit of an update on... it was released a little while ago, about a bit over a month ago, I think, called Euclidean. And we're just going to do an update because it's had some massive updates to it. It's really, really cool. Not like it wasn't cool before, but now it's even cooler. So do we have any price drops before we go forward? Only one that's been added to the list, which is another 4 Pockets app, which is Flux, $7.99 to $5.99. Hello, Kim Harden Hudson. Versus Visual Synth is down $1. New Rack is down $3 or $2, $3, something. Guitar Chords Toolkit is free, so download at your own risk. Doesn't look like it has in-app purchases. VA Drums, whole bunch of stuff. But today, as I said, we are looking at Euclidean, which is $8.99 on the App Store. US, that is, $8.99. And it is a PolyRhythmic sequencer, which has had some major updates to the way the polyrhythms actually work, which is super duper cool. Let me just fix something. I can see something weird happening. Oh, that's fixed it. My green screen was all fuzzy over here. Green screen was all fuzzy. There we go. It's all working now. Good. Good shit. All right. Man, I'm a bit lost today. I need some coffee now. So we're going to look at this Euclidean. I'm going to start off by playing some music that I made in Euclidean in about 4 minutes. Hello, Russ. Hello, Russ. Good to see you. Cool, let's do it. Shall we just open up the app and start boogieing? Maybe. All right, so this is Euclidean, and I have this little project I've just thrown together. Basically, I have just four instruments in here. So 2 instruments from an app called Continua, and 1 from an app called DRC. Both these apps I'm looking at next week on the show, but I thought I'd just throw them in here now just for a bit of fun. And here is Euclidean. And we're just going to start the thing rolling. And let's see how it goes, shall we? Good luck. wicked. Good times. So, as you can tell, as you can hear, some pretty incredible sounds there, just from 4 sounds, and all that was randomization controlled via the MIDI with a bunch of programs that I put in here. So, I want to show you. We'll jump over here. Shall we clear this out, and let's go through some of these new features that are built into this. So we'll clear this out, get rid of it. Good stuff. As usual, Paul from 4 Pockets. Since it's been released, this is version 1.04, so there's been 4 major updates. I'm currently using 0.15 beta, so it's like number 40 beta. So this has had a few little extra things just touched with it, but the current version on the App Store is 1.04, has all the features that we're going to go through today, and that's the most important thing. We can get rid of this keyboard now. So let's open up a new project and go through and see what we can do. Does anyone know? Reality, hello to you. Welcome to the chat. JDL, good to see you. I don't think I've missed anyone else. So what do we need to do? Well, for this particular app, you need to open it up as a MIDI. Now, if you want to go back and watch the show I did on this, which goes into a thorough breakdown of how to set it up, all of the features, best to do that. This is just an update today on some of the new features, so be aware of that. So we want to go here and select MIDI. So now we have a MIDI channel here in AUM. So it works the same kind of thing in like, Nano Studio or like Cubasis. You open up, create a MIDI channel and put it in there, put Euclidean in there, and then you point it to the instruments that you want it to control. So today we're just going to open up, for starters, just a pure piano, just a basic pure piano, nothing exciting, just a pure piano to kick off. So there is our pure piano. Now, what you need to do is, now that we have, we need to add Euclidean to the MIDI. So in here on the MIDI channel, we just need to add Euclidean. There it is. And now this will be able to control this. So we want to go into this little icon here, open it up, and you'll see Euclidean is now an option. So, and there's 4 channels. So you get 4 instruments to add here. And we want number 1. And then we can go into Euclidean. Yeah, I've done like a beginner's guide to AUM, which is somewhere on my channel. Reality. Leela. There you go. Where you control these, when you're in AUM, so I'll cover this too, because now Euclidean can be used as a standalone as well too. You can link it up to apps as well. It has MIDI controllers built in, so it is now able to use as a standalone without all this AUM bizzo. Yeah. So this little line of instruments here, these ports, these control the sections. So port 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we're going to turn these to 2, 3, and 4. And so that port 1 now links up to this here. So you can see there's a little diamond next to this track here, because this one is checked. Whenever you see a little diamond, it means that within that substructure of the file system there, that one of them is picked, and that is number 1. So now pure piano is connected. Good stuff. All right, let's jump back into Euclidean and tell you the differences between Euclidean. So the main one is up here. So you now have 3 sections. So the initial, what you got initially was Euclidean, and you got a polyrhythm. Right, and then this PolyMeter was added in here. But now Paul's gone back and separated these into 3 different forms of rhythm creation. So Euclidean is the standard one that was originally released. So if I want to randomize something, I can go down here. Here's all your tracks, so you can select these. I turn this on. So now A track, when I hit play up here, make sure it's linked with a host sync up here. So it's connected now to AUM's BPM. So you can see what's going on there. There's a note being played every time this little line goes over the note. it's creating a sound. And you can change the amount of events by turning up this event knob. So this is track A, which is connected to port 1. I can turn up events, and you see you're starting to build rhythms like this. You can change the amount of steps. So I've covered all this in the original video. As you see, as I turn up more events. And there's a little rotation button here, so I can actually rotate these around. And you start getting some really interesting rhythms happening here. You've got a time, so you can slow it down. You've got all that. He's added so many times signatures here. So you can speed it up 4 times, make it super slow. I forget what were we on, 1 times. So that's all cool. Good stuff. What he has added now is the ability to click on and off notes when in one of the other patterns here. So there we go. This is just our basic thing. But where this gets really fun is with randomization. Randomization really makes this interesting. So when you open up randomization, you've got all these different things like the chord, the scale, the speed, whole lot of things. And you can just hit random, and you'll see up the top here, A, B, C, and D. These are connected to each of these channels. And we've only got one open at the moment. So if I hit randomize and just choose A, it's added in a whole pattern down here in the sequencer. Now you can do things like reverse and ping pong. So it's currently set to reverse. Now it's going forward. You can set to ping pong, so once it gets to the end, it'll go back. And at any time you can bring up the randomize. You can just say you want to keep the same scale, because down here we've got like a Egyptian scale at the moment. We've got our key chords. You can mess with these randomizations and, you know, probability. You can turn things on and off. So if we hit randomize again, but the main function within this Euclidean section here is between, so you control how many steps are in here, and the most amount of steps you can go up to is, it's like 60, 64. So now I can add more events. But that is the main feature of the Euclidean section. And you can get really interesting timings and stuff by choosing, you know, odds and even numbers. Okay. I'm going to add some more tracks to this just to make it interesting. I'm just going to add 3 more of these. So I'm going to duplicate 3 more pure pianos. Go in, duplicate these. Boom, boom, boom. Now what I need to do with these duplicated channels is go in and select Euclidean number 2, Euclidean number 3, and Euclidean number 4. So all these now will be connected to 4 individual channels within Euclidean. There we go. So we can turn all these on now. And as you see, as you turn on each one, they populate with dots. So now if I go into randomization and select all of these and then hit randomize, all of them will get a random thing happen. Their timing, everything will be completely random. So now when we hit play, we've got these crazy clocks spinning around. And you'll notice down here we have, each one has a different amount of steps. So they're all running at a different amount of steps. That's why the hands are all running at all at different timings, and they all look like a clock going crazy. So that's the basics of the Euclidean section. Let's just make this sound a bit sexier. I'll add some black hole to these. Because black hole makes everything sexy. Make it a bit less harsh, the piano. There we go. Okie doke. So we have things going backwards, we have things going forwards, we've got ping pongs. So that's basically the Euclidean section of it. But if we click on here now and go to PolyRhythm, you'll notice things get grayed out here. So now the steps have nothing to do with the rhythms that are being created. What it is basing on is the events here. So when we go back to randomize and hit random, now you're going to get a whole bunch of really interesting patterns that can be created this way. Let's listen. Now where this one really works well, the polyrhythm, is with drums. So if instead of using piano, I'm using like a bunch of drum apps, you're going to get some really interesting rhythms bouncing off each other here. And some of them will go out of time and sound a bit kooky. And that's what the beautiful thing about these randomizations and stuff. You don't know what you're going to get. Life's like a box of chocolates. Let's hit another randomize here. It blows my mind. I never thought we would be in a time where you could just hit randomize and create such beautiful sounds. Like seriously, folks, don't get scared of AI. It's not going to take over the world. It's just going to do things like this. Hi, I have an idea. Good to see you. Black covers. Good to see you. Let's hit randomize again. And you'll see when I'm hitting randomize, what it's changing. Pay attention to here. These events, when I hit randomize, these events are changing here. And I currently have on, so every time I hit randomize, we're changing the scale, the chord, so I can turn these off at any time. The notes. And I can just make it do something like the speed. Or we could do, not the speed, let's do notes and chords. Beautiful stuff. So as you can see, the steps here are absolutely, they're blanked out completely. Everything's running at the same steps. It's just the events that we're able to draw in. And now you'll see, with my finger here, I can just touch a dot anywhere and remove them to create even more unique kind of sounds. Hey, Vortex, welcome along. So I can just touch them out and I can bring them back in just by again. So this is a new feature, being able to just touch on them and make them come in and out. We'll hit randomize again. Yeah, absolutely, Puppet Tom. So I've tried not to go into all of that today because I've done this in the previous show. But here are your scales. So you have, look at them all. You've got a whole lot of scales, chromatic, major, minor, Dorian. All the scales are here. So we're currently in a minor pentatonic, and we're in the key of F. So when you click here, here's all your signatures. And then you've got your chord signatures as well. So you can totally choose whatever you like, but randomizing has a really profound effect by just so let's stop that. So that's polyrhythm. That's, so that, as I said, it's more for like rhythmic stuff. You get some really crazy rhythms using drums and stuff, but I want to keep it all on the same sounds so you can hear the kind of difference of what's happening here. So here is the new one. Now this, from what Paul told me, he had somebody reach out to him, a mathematician, believe it or not, since the last update, a 70-year-old mathematician, very intelligent person who has helped him really work on this polymeter to create stuff like this. So what's really fantastic about this is we now have, you'll see, so flicking between these two, let's go back here to polyrhythm. So you'll see all these steps are blacked out here. You can't turn them at all, right? When we move to polymeter, look what it does. It introduces them all, but it gives you actual time signatures. So things are going to get fucking crazy now. We have 4/4 all the way up to 12/4, 2/4, 7/4. Man, you can get nuts. Plus, next to it, instead of these nodes here, we have a note type. So we've got quarter notes, we've got eighth notes, and we've got eighth triplets. Crazy stuff. Let's hit random and see what happens. And hit play. Wow. So now you're really getting some utter complexity here. So if we hit randomize again, now I currently have the overall speed of this, which is controlled up in this top corner, set to 0.05. And we can make this like a 1. Now I'm just hitting random. Let's do it again. Over and over, random. And every time I do it, watch down here, because these are changing. Everything's changing. Well, all that's changing is what you decide to change. So I have notes, velocity, scale, and chords. So we've gone to a major, to a minor, it's really incredible stuff. There's so much you can do here. And as I said, if you want to go back and watch the previous show, you can actually go in here and draw in your notes as well. You can go in here and draw notes, delete notes, remove them. You've got all your notes down here to see what the chords are that you can create. So what chords. And you can bounce between the A, B, C, and D to see actually what's going on. So I covered all that in the previous video. What is cool, very interesting new thing. Let's hit randomize again, all tracks. Now you'll notice Paul, when he adds something to the app, you can tell because he adds in a little chevron, which is one of these little triangles. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see it. See this little triangle in the top of each button? And you'll notice there's one in a whole bunch of them now. Over here, we've got a little triangle, these little chevrons. When you see one of those, that means if you hold down, you get added options. So if we hold down on randomize here, this now says only available in controller view mode. So they all have their own little things. But this here, when I hold down on it, gives me the option to paste a band. So if I like a sound in this particular band or these notes here, I can actually send this now to band C. Now if I go to band, or I'm taking band C and putting it on band A. So if I like this band D over here, and I want to put this on band B, hold down, and you can copy, oh, you can't copy the same thing onto itself. What am I doing? So you can add D to, or B to D, so you can actually copy these things back and forward. Really cool. Let's hit play. It's really beautiful. Hello, iOS Chacon. Good to see you. So what I'm going to do now is show you the programming stuff in it too, and then we'll look at the keyboard shortcuts and stuff like that, and a few other things. So let's go back to the basic Euclidean section here, and just hit randomize. And when we hit play, so you can hear the difference. This is more of a melodic thing. So between the three of them, you've got more of a like rhythmic thing, and then the third one is like this very mathematical thing, where this one's more of a just a more of a melodic randomization kind of thing. So what I want to show you is, oops, let's go back to this screen. Is that you can create. So up the top here, and we covered this in the last show, you've got these programs up here, yeah? So you can actually, if you like a sound, you can save it in here. So let's just hit play. So I like this sound. So now that is automatically, because we're on page 1 here, that is now automatically a part of page 1. But I want to have something else. So you can hit copy, move to page 2, and that's blank. And I can paste this in here and then hit randomize. So now I can actually bounce back and forward between these. But what's even cooler, right, is you can actually save different settings up here. So if we take this number 2 here, we copy it, we'll go to number 3, we'll paste it in, and then we'll go up here and change this to a polyrhythm, and then hit randomize. Now we've got a polyrhythm in here, and now if we copy this, copy this, put this into number 4 and hit randomize again. Let me do that, please. So we've hit randomize again. And now we'll copy this again, go into page 5 and change the polyrhythm to a polymeter. So we're getting another totally different crazy beat here. We'll paste this in and we'll change this to a polymeter, sorry. And now hit randomize. We'll do the same again. So I'll copy this one, go to page 6, paste it in, hit randomize, and we're starting to build a song of total randomized stuff here. So we've got 5 pages, 6 pages here of randomized stuff. So if I hit play, Okay, so let's cover this. Now, you can actually control the pages. So you can do all this with a on-screen keyboard. So you've got your on-screen keyboard here. Let's do that. Now, you need to make sure, if for this particular, what I'm going to show you here, is we're going to go to, I think it's C0. So on your keyboard, C0 control. So this is page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 16 that you can do, yeah? So now that we've got that, I'm going to go into Euclidean up here and add the keyboard. So now I can control Euclidean, and you'll notice when we open Euclidean up, just let me open it up and make sure the keyboard is showing. There we go. So now you'll notice when I touch the keys here, the programs change. Look at that. So you can do this with an external controller. Really neat. So you don't have to keep touching the screen. And when there's nothing there, it doesn't play anything. So that's cool, but let me show you something else. This is really cool. We talked about this in the last show as well. So now I'm going to jump in to this little section here, and I'm going to add my Arturia key step. So now I can control everything with my Arturia key step. So once we turn, there's this little function here. There it is, with the little chevron. And when I click this, it now says MIDI chord recognition mode is on. So now when I hit play, I can actually control the chords. So when I hold down a chord, you'll notice and you'll see with each chord I play, everything changes. Now taking to this as well, I can control the programs. So you can see you've got far more control than what you think. I know there's so many of these apps out there at the moment which, you know, do all this randomization and generative apps that create all these sounds. But as Paul keeps developing this app, it just keeps getting... And Paul does this all the time. You know, he releases an app and he just won't let it be. He just continues to give us all free updates that give us more power over the apps. And I know there's people out there who bitch and moan about the way Paul's apps look. Doesn't matter what it looks like, man, if it works and does amazing things. Hello, Jim Shannon on sounds. So I'm going to open up another project here, and I want to show you some other stuff he's added in. Let's just close this project out, and I'm going to open a project that's quite similar. So we'll clear this. Here's something I prepared earlier, and this has got all the same instruments in it. So we've got pianos in here, but it's just some sounds that I've spent a bit more time making sound a bit more cohesive, and I've added in some drums. So I've got drum computer running in this. Oh, has that worked? Yes, that's worked. Good. So we've got pure synth in here as well, and we've got soft drummer as well. So quite a few different things happening. Let's hit play. So what I want to show you while this is playing, let's turn it down a little bit, is this ability. This is really cool. This has just been added. So you noticed before when I held down this button here, and we'll do it again. So now I can control the chords once again, right? But if you hold down on it, you get this brand new pattern sequencer. This is sick. This is really cool. So at any time, I can go in here and add whatever's going on. So we're on page 1. If I hit add, it now adds in here this pattern for four beats. And I can change this to number 4. And then we can add another one, and you can start building some very interesting things with this. So we'll go to a number 6. We'll add this in. Go to 2. We'll add this in. So now we've got 4 things in here. And what's cool about it is when I hold down a chord, I turn this on, because there's a little on switch up here. You need to remember to turn this on up here. I'll show you. There's a little on switch just there. When I hold down a chord now, the chords change, right? But if I let go of a chord, if I hold down the chord, sorry, it'll cycle through. As soon as I press a new chord, it goes back to the start. If I let go, it stays in position. If I hold down a new chord, it goes back. So you're actually controlling this wonderful pattern sequencer. And what's cool, you can go in here and you can change these. You can make them longer. You can make them shorter. You can change the length. So we can click on this one, say number 3. We can add some length to it and make it go for 8. We could go into number 2 and we can bring this down to 2. You've got total control over these. So this one's currently set to 6. So now if I hit play again, just another really, really fascinating feature that has been added to this that is just cool as hell. Now, there's a whole lot of other things that I have really forgotten about. The beautiful thing is, you know, if you pick this up, there is already a deep dive I did on all the basic features, which covers a lot of the stuff like the probability, all that kind of stuff. All of the added CC stuff, so you can go back and watch that video for more of that, because we don't have time to go through all that today. Also, if you do get lost with it, he's really done a fantastic job up here. When you click on the main menu, which is sitting up here, the help menu is built in and it is really beautifully presented. It's certainly not that long. You would think it would be a lot longer. And any of the updates, I love it that he does this. So all of the videos to Paul's channel are all here. So you can click from within the app. It'll take you to the YouTube channel to get a breakdown from Paul of his features. So he makes it really nice and easy. I think this is a beautiful app, beautiful updates. And you know what? The updates are absolutely free. It's $8.99. So it's pretty damn cheap to make some really interesting sounds. Let's do this. I'm going to reboot this. We'll clear this, bring it back up. Yes, I'm sure. And we'll go out with some music. Now, coming up, let's do this stuff now before we do all this stuff before we go. So, what do we have coming up tomorrow on the show? We have coming up on the show tomorrow, you're getting to see a few things that are happening next week now. Tomorrow on the show is our special Warts series. We're taking a look at the rewards of risk-taking in music. Being dangerous. Being what so many artists don't do these days, and that is take risks. And that is why so much music in 2022 sounds like homogenized shit. Because people don't take risks like they do or they did back through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And then after that, it all just seemed to go to shit, where people just became really boring. And everything's about product placement. Sorry, I was talking about 2000s music. Oh, sorry. It's, put me to sleep again. So boring. So we're going to be talking about risk-taking tomorrow. So no interview tomorrow. Got some cool things coming up next week. We're going to be reviewing the LaunchPad X that I got recently. This weekend, I'm doing another opening hour with some more classic covers. So that's going to be cool. Sai has a show directly after the Warts episode tomorrow. He's doing his first live stream. Today, in an hour's time, Thomas Christ is doing his You Rock show. So make sure, please, Thomas, put a link to that in the chat so people can go and find that. And I am going to go out today by just noodling around using this piano thing that I created yesterday. And let's see how we go. I think it's this one. And remember, guys, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we all rise together. So enjoy my noodling on Euclidean. I think everything's set. We're good. We'll make sure our keyboard is set to 0. There we are. Ba-boom. And there's no... that's right. We've got to add the keyboard here. And we're good. So, now I can go through patterns. Let's play some music. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's just bring all these in. 2, 3, and... see you later.
Stunning. Stunning.
Stunning.